everybody, welcome to the Soulful Soul. My name is Gladys. I just wanted to chat with you a little bit about the reading now that I've done it. What is so interesting is that everyone got a message about the chakras. And the thing that is also interesting about that is that I just a couple of days ago, after lots of work, managed to upload my first Yoga Nidra session. I don't know if you know about Yoga Nidra, but it's a meditation, and I find it very powerful. So I did my own, and I've recorded them and uploaded them, but there's something to do with the sound that's not working for some people. Some people just can't hear, and I think I just need to fix a couple of things. So I'm going to re-record and upload that again later in the week or early next week. But I just found it so interesting that the chakras should come up, and it only really struck home after I'd done the last reading. And I hope you will give me feedback. I'm really looking forward to hearing people engaging more on my content, and so that I can also respond to some of your questions and what you'd like to hear.
Wait.
Come, Luca. So I have my trusted sidekick here, my son. It started, darling. Okay, come now, Luca.
Choose it for yourself, okay? Yep.
So my son is going to choose the cards for you. The base cards for you on camera for you to select from. Okay, thank you. 4. Thanks, son. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So group 1 is the owl, group 2 is the penguin, group 3 is a paperclip, and group 4 is a dog. So I would, if I think about these, the owl would talk about seeking guidance, the penguin would be about possibly maybe love matters or emotions. The paperclip might talk to someone who's trying to sort matters out, in trying to get clarity or put things in order. And then the dog might speak about questions of loyalty and friendship, maybe even love, family, whatever the case might be. Okay, so group 1 is the owl, group 2 is the penguin, group 3 is the paperclip, and group 4 is the dog. Okay, make your choices. You could pause if you want to, and I will see you on the other side. Hi, group 1. So you chose the owl, which represents wisdom, possibly inner wisdom. So perhaps you are seeking some guidance on something. I'm not sure. Let's see. So you got Archangel Raphael. There you go, Archangel Raphael, so you can see that. So the healing angel, this healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. Okay, so perhaps your issue is to do what you're seeking advice on is something to do with healing. Raphael is known as the angel of love. That's how I have always known or understood him. So let's see what messages we have. I just want to remind again that the purpose behind my weekly readings is to help you to unpack what's going on perhaps, and to have something to reflect on for the week. I think the tarot is so powerful as a tool for learning, and we miss that when we are always trying to find answers, and I'm hoping that this helps you look within. So you have the 8 of Wands and the Fool in the upright. So the 8 of Wands is generally about communication, possibly swift communication. The Fool is about new beginnings, and let's see, I'll leave that there, the Four Swords. I'm trying to work out my camera angle. So you have the Eight of Wands in the upright. You have the Fool in the upright, new beginnings. You have the Ten of Pentacles, but it is in the reverse. And you have the Two of Pentacles in the upright. So I'm going to leave them here and then just speak to them because you can't see them. So let me see what's going on here, what I can make of this. You know, the first thing I'm drawn to is the water in the Fool card, which alongside Archangel Raphael and this idea about love suggests to me that there's something deeply emotional that's been going on for you. It might be, I feel that this group is dealing with a love issue. There's some communication that needs to be straightened out, and it might require bravery on your part, that you're willing to take that step to do the communication and make that peace offering. Maybe I just see I'm drawn to the amethyst in her hand. Amethyst always makes me think of healing and peace, hey? So maybe you need to be making a peace offering about something, and trust that whatever happens, that it's okay. You know, sometimes we make peace for ourselves more than for, I don't know, like I just got this feeling, and sometimes it's for ourselves and those who are in our care. So if you're a parent who feels you've been wronged, perhaps in a relationship, sometimes the peacemaking is for the sake of the child or the children in the marriage, or the separation, or whatever the case might be. I am seeing a being brave enough to be willing to take those steps towards reconciliation. Not reconciliation, but, and by, let me say, reconciliation doesn't necessarily mean getting back together, although it could. But reconciliation can be also finding a different way of having a relationship, even if the people have been separated. We can find ways of communicating after relationships have ended. You also have two cards about money and stability. It is possible that there's a concern about money. You've got the Two of Coins here, which talks about balancing things. So perhaps you need to find some balance. You need to be thinking about balance. And letting go of old notions of family, right? You know, if there's ever anything that is teaching us to reset everything, it's what is going on in the world right now. I think this is a first ever in recorded history where the entire world is affected by the same thing. In the past, it might have been something like HIV, which is, you know, if it's a group outside of us, we tend to other. I mean, there's so many ills that have gone on in the world. There have been wars, unjust wars, against innocent human beings, citizens, and they've gone by with few people saying anything about it. there have been pandemics, epidemics, well, I shouldn't say pandemics, more epidemics, because they've affected few people, even though it might have been across the globe, but because they didn't affect the many or the powerful, or the country seen as powerful, or those that have more voice, they were not taken as seriously. In this case, everyone is affected. So somehow humanity has to see humanity through human eyes, you know, like, and we are all being forced to do that. And I think that's a really powerful take home. And I went off there, but the point is that even this idea of families, what is family? Family is, it doesn't have to be what you're born into. A family doesn't have to be the traditional, I mean, it's so ridiculous that a family should be mother, father, child, boy, girl, ideally. It's ridiculous. There's so many different ways that we can have family and relationship, right? So I think that this group is being called on to let go of notions of family, and maybe you're being asked to forgive. Maybe you are being asked to forgive and reach out a hand to someone. And trusting that you are guided, that you are protected, and trusting that you have the inner wisdom to deal with whatever that reaching out, the consequences of that reaching out. So, you know, when we go through breakups, and I hope this resonates for someone out there, if that person, if you have been through a breakup, when we go through breakups, I think that sometimes we tend to lose our inner light, right? Because it's really painful if someone has been your partner for a long time and suddenly they aren't. You become so attuned to them and they to you, and everything about their essence, their energy is around you. And I think that if that's the case for you, dear one, or dear ones, if that is the case for you, I think this card, even though this is the card of juggling and keeping balance, what I'm seeing here is very much the orange, even though that's already orange, but the orange is standing out for me. There's orange there as well. But the sacral chakra, which is about embracing your sexuality and loving yourself, just embracing who you are and coming to and acknowledging that that is okay and that's beautiful. You know, I think the sacral chakra also speaks about honoring our beauty, our sacredness, our sacred sexuality, our creativity, which is sexuality is creativity. So so for your take home, dear group one, I'm going to suggest that if there's someone you need to reach out to and speak to, go ahead and do it. I think the cards are suggesting that you be brave and be willing to be the one that makes the reconciliation, whatever form that reconciliation takes. That you do that with a letting go of expectations, I think. A letting go of what you want the outcome of that reaching out to be. Just try to do it with as much love as you can muster, or just do it with love. Because I'm seeing in the Fool here, this the thing that's standing out for me is the pool, and it's in the color of the heart chakra, which is green, and it's about suggests love. Emotions. It's about I'm seeing that you need to be comfortable with the emotions. Just try to be it's possible that you are not normally comfortable with the emotions. It is emotional, but try to not have too many expectations in your reaching out. Okay. Now, coming to your reflection for the week ahead, I think this group will do well to reflect on the sacral chakra. Wear orange as much as you can. Eat oranges or nachis or whatever, nectarines, mandarins, whatever they're called. Do a lot with orange. Wear an orange scarf. Wear a scarf around your sacral chakra. Can look quite beautiful. And just embrace your sexuality and your creativity. And by creativity, I believe one of the most powerful ways of raising your vibration and making yourself feel better is by dancing. And this picture does seem to suggest that the woman is dancing. So I hope that helps you, group 1. I hope that's useful. Do some dancing, love yourself, waggle your hips in the mirror, even if it's just for yourself. Just embrace how beautiful you are, and own that whatever you are is beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. So thank you, group 1. I hope that helps. I hope that your reflections, please do share your reflections at the end of the week. Share how this worked out for you. Share if this made sense. I would really value your feedback. And if this is working for you, please do like and subscribe. And also please share my videos and my channel with other like-minded souls. Lots of love to you. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Bye. Welcome back, group 2. So you've chosen the penguin, and you know, I thought the previous group would be about, well, it was about seeking inner wisdom to some extent, but I thought it was about love. It would be about love, but I did say this group would be about love, possibly, but let's see. Solar plexus chakra. It is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. So I think we are looking at self-love, right? That's beautiful. Let's see what cards come up for you. Oops. Okay, I did see Temperance fly out, and I'm going to take it in the reverse, and the 2 of Swords, and something else has flown out. 6 of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups in the upright, and the Queen of Cups is all about nurturing, about feeling comfortable in one's emotions. In the upright, she is comfortable with giving and receiving love. You have the 6 of Swords in the reverse. That's it, in the upright. But it is in the reverse here, which suggests a holding on to something, not being willing to move forward on something. You have the 2 of Swords in the upright. Let's see. So the 2 of Swords often speaks about having to make a decision, and then you have Temperance in the reverse, which suggests something being a little bit out of balance, not necessarily badly so, I suppose, I imagine. Okay, so let me see. Solar plexus. So the solar plexus is about self-love and self-esteem and self-will. So there's something here. So the card says it is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. Right. So perhaps there's something you are reluctant to move forward on. You're not trusting yourself enough. So you are the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, I'm just going to say what I see right now. She's reminding me of doing Reiki here. So perhaps you are wanting to do energy healing, but you're not, or something to that effect, something to do with healing, but you don't trust yourself enough. You're not confident enough, which is where the solar plexus chakra comes in. And because of that, you are feeling quite stuck. Not one. You know, these cards are so similar in a way. So the Six of Swords is about moving from rocky water to still water. You're afraid of that you're not being led. You're afraid that whatever path you want to go down, it might not lead to something peaceful. And then when I look at the Two of Swords, even though the Two of Swords is often about feeling really stuck with making a decision, here it feels very much like there's a lot of stuff going on in your head. Maybe one person saying one thing, another person saying another. So you're caught up in all this talk, this either self-talk or talk from other people or lots of advice. Just remember that people who give advice don't necessarily, if they give you advice genuinely, they don't necessarily feel like you have to follow theirs. If they're people that you trust and love, they will understand whatever decision you make. I mean, whatever decision you make needs to be your decision. And with regard to not trusting yourself, I feel not trusting that the outcome will be what you want it to be. There are no guarantees in life, right? But I do believe, I honestly believe, if something in your soul is pulling you forward, if something, when you think about doing that something, it makes you feel joy, absolute joy, you would be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't do that thing. So I feel whatever it is that you're being called to, it's very much like, well, not much like I did say in group 1 as well, it's quite a different situation, but that idea of letting go of expectations and doing it for the joy of it, doing it because that you feel called to be doing this, you know. How many of us are stuck in jobs that we don't like? You know, I'm one of those fortunate few that's, I've had wonderful work experiences. I really have. And every one of them led to the next incarnation of me in a way, you know. And I can only say that was like divine guidance or my higher self guiding me. And that's all I can say for this group, is to trust that inner guidance. Now, let's look at temperance. Temperance you have in the reverse, right? I see the temperance card as the alchemist card. The almost making turning water into wine kind of thing. It does give a Jesus kind of feeling. But you have temperance in the reverse, and you need to have temperance in the upright. Now, temperance is a card of being centered, of finding that balance, which is such a lovely place to be. So my dear group 2s, what I'm going to suggest as your take home, bear in mind there's something that's calling you. Bear in mind that perhaps you're not trusting, and perhaps there's a lot of head stuff going on, or twittering in your ears. It could be well-meaning as well, of course, but sometimes that can make us feel stuck. and feel like we are blind and don't know what to do. In fact, you do know what to do. So I'm going to suggest that your work for the week is to do solar plexus work. If you need to come back to this card and you might even have this deck of cards, just meditate on this. It is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. Take charge. Take ownership of the changes you want to make. Wear yellow. Group 1 got the sacral chakra, you've got the solar plexus. Solar plexus color is bright golden yellow. There's so many ways you can work with the solar plexus. I love color. I really do believe in color and its power. Go lie in the sun and picture the sun's rays going straight into your solar plexus. If you don't have sun where you are, you can imagine the sun. You can look at pictures of the sun and just meditate on them. Just sit with them. You can wear golden yellow. You can eat food that is yellow. Have lemon water. Drink it, and as you drink the lemon water, just imagine it filling your solar plexus with powerful energy, of self-love. Okay, and alongside that, I would say your work is to do that and to try to find your balance. Let me think about that. What is the center for you? Where are you centered? And perhaps it suggests also the meditation, because when we go into meditation, and we don't have to make spirituality too complex. I honestly believe in that. Meditation can be simply sitting quietly for 20 minutes, just quietly, and just deep breathing to find your safe space, your place of centeredness. That's all that meditation can be, and if that's what works for you right now, let that be it. So solar plexus work, finding your balance through meditation, through sitting quietly. Let these two work together hand in hand for you. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, group 2, and I hope that's helpful for you. Have a wonderful week ahead. Lots of love. Welcome back, group 3. You chose the paperclip, and I was suggesting that there needs to be, perhaps the group that needs to or is being called to do more organizing. Perhaps things are a bit cluttered for you, and you're feeling a bit disorganized. Well, let's see what the cards have to say. I did mean to turn this over first. Integrity. Align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. So it would seem there's a conflict within about your values. And your actions. So perhaps your actions are doing things that are counter to what your values are, and you need to think about that. You get the High Priestess in reverse. I'm reading them from my side. So the High Priestess is in reverse. You have the Three of Cups in the upright. The High Priestess is about that trusting your inner wisdom. I'm just being aware of her eyes here. They are veiled, like eyes upon eyes, eyes on closed eyes. Judgment in the upright, a Five of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. So let me see what I'm getting from this. I see a lot of green, which to me suggests In fact, it's green, but it's also blue. It's like turquoise. It's almost like work in the heart and throat. So, perhaps you are in a situation where you are not speaking up about something that needs to be spoken up about. One of the groups got something about speaking up, but in a very different way. It was opening the channels of communication. In your case, I really feel perhaps you are not speaking up when something needs to be spoken up about. You're not trusting your inner wisdom. Yeah. And judgment in the upright suggests that there's a major change, there's a rebirth going on. So perhaps your rebirth is about finding ways of balancing your actions with your voice. There's a quote that's coming to me: if we can learn something of right actions and things. It's really beautiful. I'll try and check it out and put it down in the comments, in the description. If we can learn the secret of right actions and things. Okay, I will think about that. Okay, let me see what else. So the Three of Cups, in this case, it's upright. It's about celebration. It's about friendship. It's about honoring each other. Five of Cups. It is possible that you are feeling a bit lonely, and I'm sure lots of people are feeling lonely, but missing the friendships, possibly. And at the same time, there's this being called to be patient, being patient with yourself, knowing that you have accumulated, you've got a wealth of information and knowledge and things that you've worked really hard for, and honoring the process. I think not being too hasty about the end point, but honoring the process. So this one's feeling a bit just disjointed for me, I'll be honest. So perhaps you need to be speaking out about something in a friendship circle. Perhaps something happened and something painful happened that is being left to stay beneath the surface. And perhaps this group needs to honor their truth. And it's interesting, honor their truth is very much about the throat chakra. It's about speaking one's own truth, and I think that's what's happening here. Somehow you need to be speaking out about something, and perhaps that's your I want to say leveling up, but leveling up in some manner or form. Maybe that's your way of, when we do something that requires us to be brave, we do feel a sense of accomplishment, which is the Eight of Pentacles can also be about that sense of accomplishment, right? Yeah. She's being patient, and she's just saying, okay, I've done the hard work. So, what would be your take home? Okay, the thing that I'm seeing a lot, it seems to me that the chakras are the things that are speaking in all three groups so far. So I'm going to suggest that for you, yours is the throat chakra. Now, it does come together for me. Throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra, throat. Even this one, somehow they feel very, very present. I'm going to say something also about the Three of Cups and then come back to my thought here. The Three of Cups, when I was clearing the cards before this reading, I couldn't find the Three of Cups, and I put it in with the Major Arcana. Why? Because this Three of Cups reminds me of the Star card in this deck of cards. It looks very much, it's got similar coloring. So there's something to do with that. The Star is like, it's about healing, it's about wishes coming true, but there's something to do with maybe healing that needs to take place. And I think that the healing that needs to take place is about speaking truth, because the throat chakra is so much about being completely honest with ourselves, first of all, about our own beliefs, about our behavior, about our actions, but it's also about honoring ourselves by speaking our truths. And sometimes, especially in friendships, I think sometimes we might be afraid to speak our truth for fear of losing those friendships. But I think what the cards are suggesting is that we really do need to be honoring our truth. This group, needs to be honoring your truth, trusting in your inner wisdom, because you are right now not trusting that inner wisdom. So there's a need to trust that inner wisdom. Honor your truth and speak your truth. Stop keeping quiet in order to fit in. That, in fact, your path to healing, which is the Judgment card, I'm seeing that as your path to healing, is in your being truthful with yourself, first of all, and in a situation where you might be feeling a bit afraid to speak out. Okay. So, Group 3, your work for the week ahead is your take home, your reflection. I would suggest that you reflect on your throat chakra. Like I said to the previous groups, wear that color. Wear a scarf, a blue scarf around your throat. Work with blue, if you have blue crystals, any blue crystals will do. Howlite or turquoise. It's perfect for that. Blue lace agate for the throat chakra. Light a blue candle. Just look at the sky if you have a blue sky, and if not, look at a blue flower or look at a picture of a blue sky and meditate on it. Just gaze upon it. When I say meditate, it can be just gazing on it and just letting whatever comes come. So I'm going to leave it there, because I can tend to ramble on, thinking that I need to explain more. I'm going to leave it right there, and I hope that that's useful for you, my dear Group 3s, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I send lots of love. Welcome back, Group 4. So, you chose the dog, which I see as the card of a symbol of loyalty and friendship. Let's see what your card says. Sorry about that. I was saying that everyone got the chakra, something to do with the chakras, and there you go with the crown chakra. So it says, pay attention to your ideas, as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. How beautiful is that? Okay. So I was just saying as well that I just recorded my first Yoga Nidra um, uh, meditation, and I worked really hard on it, but it needs work on the sound, which I just didn't realize even after having listened to it over and over. Anyway, I'm going to redo it, but it was working on the chakras, and I just uploaded it a couple of days ago. So it's so interesting that that this reading should have that focus. So let's see what the messages are. So paying attention to your ideas. So obviously this group needs to be sitting in awareness and honoring. So you have the Lovers in reverse, you have the Chariot upright, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse, and you have the Five of Cups upright. So let's see. So you have the Ten of Cups and the Lovers in reverse. So I'm feeling that there's something to do with love that has not worked out as you had planned or you had hoped. You have what I call the Crying Over Spilt Milk card, which is not to trivialize your experience, but it's a tendency, or at this moment, looking at the negative of a situation and not yet being able to see the positive. But you'll get there. You'll get there. For those people who feel they have been on the twin flame journey, I can relate, beloveds. I can relate. I don't think anyone knows why that happened or where it will lead, right? But I do absolutely know that it served or serves a purpose. It has served or it serves a purpose currently, and that is in this, in helping us open up something within ourselves that we had kept shut before. So the spilt milk might be lamenting the relationship, but the cups that are standing are this divinely guided path that you are more than likely on. And I think that the invitation is that you need to trust this. Trust that. Sorry about that. Mom was needed. Okay, so I was saying that you are being guided along some journey and you need to trust that. Whatever ideas are coming to you, write them down and follow them. With the Chariot. The Chariot moves forward, no hesitation, trusting that he, even if he is moving fast, he trusts the balance that he has and how he can control these steeds as they move forward. So, I'm going to suggest to you perhaps to work with your crown chakra, focus on the violet ray, violet, purple, use the color over the week ahead and see what comes up. And then whatever insights you get, just write them down for now. Perhaps you're not ready to act on them, but even writing them down is an act of acknowledgement of those that you are saying, yes, I hear the guidance, you know. And I think that that's what this group is about. It's about a relationship perhaps that hasn't worked out or didn't work out or may work out in future, who knows, but may not. And it's about honoring the lessons from that relationship, and particularly the lessons that have led you to open up your crown chakra and honor your deep inner wisdom, and then to spend the week trying to hear that wisdom. I really believe in the power of color. So if you can meditate on purple, whatever it is, gaze on purple, even if you have to download it from, you have to get an image of the color, if you don't have clothes, or you know what I mean. I just use the color violet as your inspiration for the week ahead. And meditation doesn't have to be hectic, it can be just gazing on that color, putting, if you have violet flowers, putting them in a central space where you can see them every day, and then just honoring whatever ideas, whatever nudgings you get, and just noting them. So I will leave it there, and like I said with group 3, let me not speak too much, because I think that the message is clear. And I hope that resonates for you, and I hope the week ahead is wonderful. And please like and subscribe, and if this works for you, and share with other like-minded souls, and also share your experiences